Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my channel, Stace Reads a Bit. I am here with the Booktube Newbie Tag. I was not tagged by anybody. I do not know who started this tag, but everybody's doing it when they start Booktube, so I figured, why not me? So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I've been lurking on Booktube for about a year, and only in the past about 6-7 months have I actually started commenting on other people's videos and joining the discussion that way. And about June I started entertaining ideas of maybe starting my own channel, making videos, and I thought, why not? I mean, there was really nothing stopping me other than me. So I thought, why not join the community and add another layer to the discussion and the interaction with everybody that I've met so far on YouTube. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? I guess just me, because I think we're all unique in our own ways. I think we all have our own personality. But who knows, maybe somebody would like my personality and might subscribe or get book recommendations because of the way that I review them. Who knows? I think it's just literally just me. That's all I can bring to Booktube. I don't have huge expensive equipment. I don't have amazing lighting. I really, honestly, 99% of the books I read, I don't even buy. I get from the library. So I guess that's basically what I can bring. Just a different perspective. That's about it. Number 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I'm excited to read more, obviously, participate more in the community, maybe get some feedback on books I've read, or even if somebody says, oh, if you like this book, you should read this book because they were similar or by the same author or whatever. Just really the interaction. I wanna up my game on that. I don't want to be that faceless person who's just like lurking and commenting on other people's videos when I could actually join the discussion myself. Number 4, why do you love reading? That's a complex question, and I love it. I love reading because it is an escape when I need to escape. It can show you a different perspective that you never would have known. For example, Eddie Izzard has a book out, and he was cross-dressing back in the 80s and 90s before it was ever socially acceptable. And while I haven't read his book yet, I look forward to reading it because that's a life that I would never experience in all my existence. So I can't experience that myself, but if I can learn about him and where he came from and how he's lived, maybe I can empathize more with other people going down a similar road now, if that makes any sense. You can escape. Like, you're having a bad day, nothing's going right, and then you come home and you're like, I can just forget this. I can pick up a graphic novel and just go into a world, or I can revisit Harry Potter. God. And I can go back into that universe that is just there, instead of the world we live in, which is so full of adversities. Even if they're minor adversities still affect you, even though other people have it worse, if that makes any sense. So I think it's a great escape, and it's a great way to learn. There you go. There was a really long answer for those 2 points. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? I wish I could say Harry Potter, but it was not. I started reading picture books as a child. I would go to the library and check them out. My parents took me to the library weekly. And, I enjoyed them, and I always enjoyed reading, but I still remember the first time I found a book just randomly on a shelf, and I picked it up because of the cover, and it was called Elsa, Star of the Shelter by Jacqueline Wilson. And I know she's very popular in the UK, and she's had a bunch of books. That's the only one of hers that I read. I think that book is called Elsa, Star of the Bed and Breakfast in the UK, but I'm not totally sure, so don't quote me on that. Because I've been trying to find it on Amazon for forever, and it's like super rare. But I digress. So, was walking through the library, this cover caught my eye. It was bright red with a little girl sitting on a bed, and just like, I couldn't even describe it. I just picked it up and I knew I had to take it home with me. And I checked it out, I read it. I think I ended up checking it out 3 or 4 times and reading it 3 or 4 times just because I loved it that much, and it made me hungrier for more stories like that. I was constantly searching for another book that brought me in like that, and I think I'm still searching for a book that will take hold of my hand and just pull me into the pages and absorb me into the story. So that was my first book. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I would probably, some of my favorite booktubers, I watch Peter from Peter Likes Books, Simon from Savage Reads, Lauren from Lauren and the Books, Hannah from Hannah Tay. Those are just a few of the books. Liv, I forgot your channel name. The Book Nook, I remembered it. I would probably just ask them how they came up with original content, because I don't want to get into that trap of just constant TBRs, book hauls, book wrap-ups, and just wash, rinse, repeat. So I'm trying to figure out my own voice and trying to figure out what kind of original content I could make. So that would be that. I would also ask them about how they got over the hump of trying to edit videos, because I'm terrible at that. I suck at it royally. So I really need tips on that. I think those are the main questions I would ask them. Number 7, what channels do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Okay, so there are really 2, and it's mostly technical. I'm not so much worried about making videos, but time, because I do work and I'm in school full time. So I think in my last video I estimated it's around 60 hours total is dedicated to work and school each week. So that limits my time for reading, and it limits my time for booktubing. So that is a big one, but I'm kind of trying to write in my schedule of like film a booktube video this day, film one this day, etc. Number 2 is my technical issues. Holy shit. I know nothing about lighting. I do not have a nice camera. I don't know how to edit. Like, I have tried a couple different editing, like I've tried software and I've tried doing it on YouTube. I could not make a split to save my life. Like, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how to do the fancy like photo overlay so that you guys can see what I'm talking about if I don't have the book on me, which frustrates me to no end. So I'm planning on working this out gradually. I'm not just going to stop making videos because I don't know how to do these things. I'm going to keep making them, and then as I go, try to figure this out and try to find some software that works for me that I can actually afford. I know people really like Photoshop, and unfortunately that is not within my budget at all to buy that right now as a student. So those are the issues that I'm going to have to overcome, but I'm pretty dedicated to overcoming those, so I don't think there'll be an issue in me making videos. The technical issues may affect how viewable my videos are, but I'm just going to keep making them. You're stuck with me. Sorry, Booktube. I'm here. Number 8, when did you start reading? There are just cars like driving past. So when did I start reading? I tried to start reading when I was around 3.5 or 4 years old. I tried to sound out words. And apparently the parenting advice of the day said to parents not to teach their children to read before they went to school, lest they teach them to read wrong. I don't know how you can read wrong if you're reading, but so apparently I was desperate to read and had worked out words on my own before going to school, but I was a fully fledged reader in first grade. Now looking back, my mother has said that she felt that was an idiotic idea, that she didn't just teach me to read when I said, Mom, I want to read, when I was 4. But you live and you learn. Question number 9, where do you read? Everywhere. I read in my bed. I read in the living room in a chair. I read in my car when I get to a place early. Like if I show up to work 20 minutes early, I will sit in my car and read. I will read at school in the hallway. I listen to audiobooks in the car. I listen to audiobooks at the gym. I listen to audiobooks when I am grocery shopping. I can read or listen to an audiobook if I'm waiting for an appointment. Like, there really is no place that I won't read. And I know some people have that problem with like motion and not being able to read because like the swaying, and I haven't had that problem, but I was reading on a train in Germany it would have been in May, and I was very, very tired because I was a little bit hungover, children, but I was very tired, and I was reading my book, and I was enjoying it, and I guess I started to doze off, and when I dozed off, my book, like, fell out of my hands and, like, flipped over. Well, that's really loud. That flipped over onto the floor, and the guy next to me just about died laughing because he thought it was so funny, and then I started laughing because there weren't very many people in Germany who found me humorous or that I really saw laughing at all, so this was like a unique experience, and it just tickled me because it was my last day in Germany. But yeah, so I can read anywhere, train, plane, wherever. Number 10, what kind of books do you like? Or what kind of books do you read? A little bit of everything. I read a little bit of YA, I read a lot of general fiction, I read some nonfiction. I prefer memoirs. I'm not a big fan in heavy, thick nonfiction. It doesn't interest me. It doesn't keep my attention usually. I will read graphic novels if they're highly recommended. There are very few things that I won't read. The only thing I really don't read much of are the thick nonfiction. I don't read a ton of fantasy. Although Terry Pratchett is like looming in the back of my mind, everybody says I need to start Discworld, and it's very, very tempting, but at 40 some books in the series, it's kind of daunting. So I don't want to start it in October when I still have another 14 months of school left. So I may actually save that series until I graduate next December, just because I don't want to have a bunch of interruptions in it. So that has been the Booktube Newbie Tag done by me. Thank you for watching. If you like me, go ahead and subscribe. We can be friends. We can talk about books, or you can just subscribe and ignore me for all eternity. I don't care. Let's get to know each other. I will be back soon with another video. Thanks. Bye.